I'm going to do this last one here. Jessica Chenoweth versus Carol Rayanna Pauley, 2404637. Name?
Carol Pauley.
Is Chenoweth your name?
Jessica Chenoweth. I'm here represented by my advocate, Lila Dawn Bidwell. Also, sir.
Say that again.
Jessica Chenoweth.
And who's your advocate?
Lila Dawn Bidwell. She's my power of attorney, advocate, cousin, caregiver, all the above.
I just really can't have you do that, ma'am. Just tell me your name.
Jessica Chenoweth.
No. Not you. The other lady.
Oh, right here.
Hello. Lila Dawn Bidwell.
State your name where I can hear it and understand it.
I'm sorry, Lila Dawn Bidwell.
I can't let you represent her with a power of attorney. I can't let you do that.
Well, I'm here.
Hang on.
I'm not representing you.
What is going on here? Why don't you have to leave the property? Sir, you cannot talk from back there. Why don't you have to leave the property? I'm talking to you.
To be honest, Your Honor,
Well, I want you to be honest, so you don't have to preface with
all
that.
right, well, I don't have to leave the property because she is not the landlord here. She does not own the home.
Who owns the home?
Who owns the home would be my great-great-grandparents. Actually, I sent you, I gave you copies of this, of my, my grandma Grace and my grandfather. Yes.
Are they alive or dead?
No, they're passed away. And as of right now, nobody owns the house. My Uncle Terry is the one that paid taxes for 3 years.
Slow down.
Okay.
So,
How do you own the property, Miss Chenoweth?
She don't.
Excuse me, sir. I do not outright. It's in probate. I am the heir inherent. My mother took care of my great grandmother.
Who's helping you probate the estate?
Brownstown. I'm concurring with Alan Hunt, legal firm.
Slow down. Mr. Hunt is helping you probate the estate. He's the probate attorney, right?
Yes, sir.
Does he know that you're doing this when you don't have proof that you're the owner, that you have not been awarded the property yet?
Yes, sir. He has all my past checks, my bank statements saying that I have been paying the bills here for a while now.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Why don't you ask him to show up here and enter an appearance for you?
Sir, can I state something, please?
No. I mean, I'll let you talk. I don't want to stop you from talking. You just got done answering your own question. You said you're not the owner of the property right now.
No,
So
I am the provider paying the bills.
Ma'am?
Yes.
The owner of the property can evict, not anybody else. Are you going to be the owner of the property? Hang on. I don't know why people try to do these things on their own. I really don't. Why are you trying to handle this? Ma'am, you're looking at the ceiling. Look at me, please.
Yes,
why
sir.
are you trying to do this on your own when you're not a lawyer? Why are you, hang on. Why are you handling a messy situation like this when you don't have a clue? I mean, seriously, why don't you get the lawyer involved in this and he can come in here and he can tell me why you have the authority to have this lady evicted?
May I?
Is she going to get the property?
No, she's not, Your Honor. And she's an alcoholic. And
All right,
Bidwell
let's not
is
cast
a
aspersions. I didn't ask you to be a character witness here.
Okay. But
Did you hear what I said?
yes, Your Honor. She's not the owner of the property and not going to become the owner of the property.
Who is?
I would be my great dead grandparents.
Well, they're not going to be owning the property if they're deceased, ma'am.
No, they're
Somebody else is, right?
Me.
I mean, people don't continue to own the property when they're in the ground.
right.
Come on. Why don't you tell Mr. Hunt to show up? I'm adjourning this to January 6th at 1:15.
Your Honor, may I speak now?
Not yet. Ma'am, There is virtually nothing you can say to me that is going to cause me to enter a judgment today. You need a lawyer.
There's a history of
You
violence.
need a lawyer that knows what they're doing, okay? Get a lawyer in here. Your probate lawyer can show up. He can appear by Zoom. He can tell me why you own the property or where it is in the probate process. I'm not awarding you a judgment today. You come back here January 6th again. Ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You come back here January 6th. Are you in there now?
I've
Yes, sir,
lived
I
there. That's my childhood home.
Stop. Why are you two interrupting one another? What's so funny? Let me in on it. I need a laugh.
Because
What are you
60
laughing
years old.
about?
She's already cracked my skull and put 7 staples in it. I'm in fear of my life. I live on life alert. I'm an amputee, and I have to deal with this, sir. I've had the
Does she have
police
a
called
case?
more
Does
in
she
the
have a
last
case?
2 months.
Hang on. Look her up. Look up Carol Pauley. Do you have a case pending?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Have you ever been
Not
charged
here in
with
New
anything?
York.
No, Your Honor, she's full of lies. She's falsely stating that I would hurt her. The only thing I've ever done was
I
try
got
to give her
medical
Thanksgiving
documents.
dinner. I have a recording that I tried to give her
I need to see
Thanksgiving
her
dinner, and what she did was called me the BITCH,
All
called
right. Okay.
a
All
lot.
right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any case in our system against Ms. Pauley.
No, everything's
Because I
been
did not
dismissed,
do
sir.
it. It's a false allegation.
Stop. You guys are both talking. I cannot possibly hear both of you, and I can promise you my recorder can't pick up both of you. Listen, here's what I'm doing. I'm not going to argue about it. January 6th, 1:15. You come back here. Don't fight. If you're living together, I don't know what to tell you, but this is a mess. Get your lawyer involved, ma'am. We'll see you here then. Good luck. Thank you.
Can I?
Yeah,
say
good
No.
luck.
something?
Thank you.
There's nothing to say.
I do have a letter.
There's nothing to say. Keep the letter with you. Bring it back January 6th, okay?
I'll get a copy. Can I do a copy of it for you?
You can get a copy put in the file if you want.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? I'm not gonna look at it until January 6th.
Okay, thank
So you
you.
can just bring me back a copy on January 6th. How's that?
If I'm
Did
dead
you roll
before
back?
January 6th, was she
Yeah.
accountable?
January 6th at 1:15. That's my next landlord-tenant docket. Wait a minute. Folks, that's what I'm doing. I'm adjourning it to that day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You have a blessed day, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Go.
Will you hand me my screen box?
Now go.
Person versus Scott Bainbridge and Sierra Bainbridge, 2404707. Your name, ma'am?
Petty Jean Pearson.
Are they here, the Bainbridges?
Yes, Judge, they're on Zoom.
Oh, okay. Your name, folks?
Bainbridge.
I'm
You
Sierra
gotta
Bainbridge.
state your, and I'm sorry, you cut out, sir. Your first name and state your full name.
Scott Bainbridge.
Did the two of you, Mr. Bainbridge and Ms. Bainbridge, did you listen to and understand the rights, Mr. Bainbridge?
Yes,
On
Your Honor.
video? Ma'am, did you?
Yes,
I can't
Your
hear
Honor.
you. Do either
Yes,
one of
Your
you, do either one of you wish to speak to a lawyer?
I don't think it'll be necessary, Your Honor.
Is that right, ma'am? You waive your right to a lawyer as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do either of you or both of you intend to apply for funding?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, this is just for termination.
Correct.
What, did they live with you, ma'am? No, this is another house. Do you guys intend to leave the property?
That is not our intention, Your Honor. We've sent Miss Pearson multiple requests for her to fix things at the house, like leaks and broken doors and things like that were broken, and we have documentation that they were broken before we ever moved in, and she refuses to fix anything at the house and has not done
Did
any
you
of
fill
the
out an
things.
inventory checklist?
I did not.
Did you, ma'am? Ma'am?
Oh, me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We did not. It's through text message. We've sent her messages.
Hang on. Did you give them an inventory checklist when they came into the property?
No, it's actually an interesting circumstance, if you would let me explain.
Go ahead.
The house had become vacant after evicting a squatter who had tried to help out. They contacted me through a mutual person, their family member, a person I know and respect in the community, who needed a place to live. I explained to them the house was in no condition to move into, that it wouldn't be available until September, and they stated they needed a place quickly. And I took Scott Bainbridge over to the home, did a walkthrough, showed him what was in disrepair, which was not much. It was just filthy from the prior person. I allowed them 10 days. We swapped. If they were willing to help with the cleanup, I would not charge them utilities or rent until the beginning of the month. I waived a security deposit.
In September?
Yes, it was actually in August.
Okay.
It was end of July, beginning of August. I waived the security deposit. I waived the pet fee. I lowered the rent by $300. They were not to use the garage. I wrote up a lease, which I gave to him. I have text messages as well. He took photographs of it to send to his attorney. I have that in my text that I needed her to sign it, him to sign it as well. He went over it with me at my work, which I have it on video camera if I need to access that. I also have 3 witnesses, one who's trying to get on the Zoom right now, who went to the home with me every time because I did nothing without a witness. I was constantly playing the chase game. The 2 doors, one door, the bedroom door, had a padlock on it, which I allowed Mr. Bainbridge to remove, which caused a hole in it. And I said I would replace that. The front door, which I have a text where he admits it is still functional, but it has to be slammed. I said I would replace that as well. Also, there was a leak in the mudroom connected to the kitchen. It is an area my father put on the house, my deceased father, to use as tool storage and a mudroom for his business. It has no ductwork connecting to the house, no vents. It did spring a leak in the faucet, whatever that thing is called, I don't know. I had someone over there immediately put a temporary fix on it. It has not
How many
leaked.
months has he paid you? Or they paid you?
They have paid me without a lease up until November. I had them give
Slow
me
down.
first and
Slow
last.
down. You said you told them in the beginning that they didn't have to pay if he helped you with.
No, just for the 10 days. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Your Honor.
We need just for the 10 days.
I allowed them to live there free for 10 days prior to,
So they paid you for August?
they paid me starting in September.
Well, you said that you started having discussions
They
late.
gave me first and second month's rent because as I have in the text messages, originally he had told me it would be 2 months that they would be there. They were going to be purchasing a home. Then it turned into 4 months. And I said, okay, if you sign the lease, we can go up to 6 months, which I have that with me. They did not sign the lease. And when I would stop by at the house, my schedule and their schedule conflict to no avail. Then every month I had to chase down the money for the utilities and the rent. So in October, I gave them a handwritten notice to quit. I wanted them off the premises. They gave me 2 months rent and then they paid me for another month. So they owe me I used the 1 month to pay up to November. So they owe me for December as of right now. And they owe me for 3 months of utilities, which I kept in my name because they were only supposed to be there for 2 to 4
When
months.
did you send a 30-day notice to quit?
First time was October 7th. The second time was November 7th.
Have you accepted any money after November 7th?
I have not.
You can't, you know that, right?
I do know that. I would like them off of my property as soon as possible. It isn't personal, it's business.
You're not gonna get there to live there for free, folks.
That is not our intention.
Well, she
I
does
informed-
have the right. Wait a minute. Did you sign a 6-month lease?
I
No.
did not. I was not allowed to take a copy of the lease with me Apparently her lawyer told her not to give me a copy of the lease until it was signed. And then on that lease, there was a bunch.
You don't have a lease. You don't have a lease, so it's a month-to-month lease now. That's what you've got going.
Correct.
If it's so bad there, why do you want to stay?
Because we are still in the process of finding somewhere else to live.
We're speed up the process. You better speed up the process. What's wrong with the house in your view?
There are two doors that do not. I mean, there's a hole in one door, and the front screen door to the house doesn't shut. You have to absolutely slam it, and even after you slam it, it blows open in the wind. There's a leak under the sink that she neglects to come over and do anything about. And then there's some.
What kind of problems does that cause you? What kind of problems does that cause you?
In the middle of the night, the door will blow open and slam against the side of the house, and I have to get up and go slam it again.
What else?
There's a leak under the sink that we're.
You already said that. What kind of problems is that causing you?
We're not able to do our dishes properly. We're constantly cleaning up underneath it because of the water.
Did she take you through this house when you first went, expressed an interest in going there and tell you all these things?
Yes, and it was discussed that she was going to have it fixed. And she never did.
When's the last time you paid rent?
The last time that I paid rent was September 1st.
So you've only paid 1 month rent or for 2 months? You paid September and October rent on September 1?
Correct.
So you've been living there free for November and December?
Well, we paid first and last month's rent when we moved in. So that would have covered.
Let me let you in on a secret. If the property's uninhabitable, let's just say that this was a non-payment of rent case. If the property's uninhabitable, then the court's function is to figure out the percentage to which it's uninhabitable and order a reduction of the rent. As an example, if somebody did not have heat in the middle of winter, one could make a very good case that the property is 100% uninhabitable, and they'd be entitled to a 100% abatement of the rent for the period of time that there was no heat. Okay? Nobody's going to live in a place, at least hopefully not going to have to, that's not heated. But that doesn't appear to be the case here. So you've got a couple issues, but she's not even asking. Are you asking me to award rent too?
I would like to have the rent. I would, and I would like the utility bills. But first and foremost, I want them off of my property.
Your Honor, if I can add something, he did just say that we only said that we'd be here 2 months, but that wasn't the original agreement. We had a verbal agreement. She had said, you can stay here a month, you can stay here a year. It's all right with me.
But you said you were only going to be there a couple months, right?
When I talked to Ms. Pearson originally, I told her the goal was to only be there between 2 and 4 months.
All right. So you guys really didn't have a meeting of the minds on the term of the lease. So therefore, as far as I'm concerned, it's just a month-to-month lease.
There were blank spots on the lease that she tried to give.
You should not be leasing out property, giving people breaks, whatever the case is. If it's not in a satisfactory condition, shouldn't be doing that.
Your Honor, it was meant to be as a favor. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And as far as
I'm not interested in that. I'm just telling you that is what you set up. That's why you're in here. This is what you see when you're sitting in this seat.
I agree.
You know, you do that, and then things don't work out. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know why they're not entitled to, why she's not entitled to return of the property. You haven't paid rent in 2 months. It doesn't sound like anything's that drastic. The furnace is still working, right?
Correct.
Your Honor, there were just multiple things that were verbally and through text agreed upon that she hasn't fulfilled, including getting her things out of the house. We've still got a fridge there. She agreed to give us half the garage for him to do work, and that hasn't happened.
The
Now,
agreement was part of the garage.
part of the garage, and now she's saying that we don't have access to any of the garage.
Your Honor, may I interject on that, interrupt? I have all of the text messages repeatedly stating the garage is off limits. All of my deceased father's belongings are in there that I haven't had a chance to go through, and I want no one touching them. It has been stated time and time again, they do not have access to the garage. But I said, I may allow you to store your generator in a toolbox in there. I have proof of that in these text messages.
I don't need to hear anymore. I really don't. I'm going to award plaintiff the property. You have to be out by January the 10th. That's what I'm doing here. The property's not uninhabitable. You haven't paid rent. You don't like it there anyway. I mean, you mentioned a door having a hole and the pipes underneath the sink leaking, but that's not enough to just abate all the rent. That's what I'm doing. January 10th, I'm entering a judgment. You have to be out by then. Good luck, folks. Concord, Diamond Mercedes
I hope
E,
I'm alive then.
22B141007. Your name?
Diamond G.
Ms. Wilds, your name?
Elizabeth Wilds, probation, Your Honor.
I placed your client on probation back on July 17, and she has a probation violation that's pending on November 21. She pled guilty to failure to pay fines and costs as ordered and failure to provide proof of completing 24 hours of community service by October 1. I told her on October 1 that I was going to set it over for sentence, or on November the 21st, adjourned it to December 19th. I got a call from my judicial clerk saying that she was sick or her child was sick or something along those lines. I adjourned it over to today. Is there anything you'd like to say? Tell me, give me proof that she's done her community service.
Your Honor, she does not have proof at this time.
Why not?
Judge,
She
currently.
didn't do it.
Yes, Judge. I note that she is currently on bed rest. She's 6 months pregnant. When I discussed the outstanding balance, she's respectfully requesting consideration for a payment plan. She can make a $100 payment this Friday, and then she'd be asking to make.
Why would I give her a payment plan when I know I told her on August the 8th to pay $50 a week and to come and talk to me if she didn't have the money? Why would I now be sympathetic over somebody saying they're 6 months pregnant when I ordered this in July? She knew when she got pregnant. I gave her till October 1. That would have been 3 months earlier. There's no reason she couldn't have done a sedentary job in either July, August, September, October. And she told us, I think she did community service, but she's not going to do community service because she doesn't think she needs to do community service. Did she do her court work program?
Yes, Your Honor, and she was doing court work program all the way up into September, so I'm not sure when this bed rest claim has come in.
She was doing what?
She was doing court work program all the way through the middle of September, so I'm not sure where the bed rest comes in.
She's just, listen, sometimes I don't feel like calling them. It's the day before Christmas. She's not kidding me. I mean, this is nonsense. Did you go to the doctor about the COVID the other day?
I didn't have COVID. My daughter had the flu and had
Your daughter
seizure,
had the flu.
and I have proof of that. Yes.
Well, let me see it. Did you go to a doctor?
Did I go to?
Did she go to a doctor?
Yes, she was in a hospital.
Okay, I don't need the proof. What do you want? What else is she doing? Is she doing our outpatient?
Yes, Your Honor, to her credit, she is compliant with her outpatient treatment. Really, at this point, she owes the victim's impact panel, and she still has not cleared several of those warrants that she has outstanding.
You haven't gone over and done that either, huh?
She indicated that she took care of her warrants out of Wayne and Westland.
Let's see here. I don't have that handy. Where else does she have warrants out of?
I ran her record December 17th. She still had warrants out of Wayne, Westland, Romulus, Taylor, Westland, Romulus, and that is all, Your Honor. So she still had warrants out of those jurisdictions as of the December 17th date.
Let's go over to Taylor.
I never knew I had a warrant for Taylor.
Let's go over to Romulus.
I never even got pulled over by him.
Let's go over to Romulus. She's not lying to you. I mean, they're on there.
That's fine, but I don't know nothing about any of that. Taylor or Romulus, I've been
Because you got
very
in a
aware.
bad habit of thinking you're larger than courts. That's what happened.
That's not what it is.
Okay, how many total warrants did she have on there?
Your Honor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total warrants, Your Honor.
Let's not act like you can't wait to go to court when you get a ticket, okay? Let's please save it. I don't want to hear it.
If I knew, I would say that. I'm a grown woman.
Well, they're
I do
not
know
lying.
nothing about any of that.
People don't put warrants into liens, ma'am, unless you have a warrant in the jurisdiction.
Okay.
Okay? When is your due date?
In May.
May?
Yes.
I thought you just said she was 6 months
I'll
pregnant.
be 6 months next week.
Well, that would make it March, wouldn't it, or not? Or
No,
early April?
It's May.
So you're not 6 months pregnant.
I'm 5 months pregnant.
11 months if you said May.
No, okay. I have whatever.
Are you working? How are you supporting
No,
yourself?
I'm not. I'm waiting on cash assistance.
Is the father helping you out of the child?
No,
Are you having complications with your pregnancy?
that's what we're trying to see. I have to go back.
Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. No doctors told you that yet, right?
No, doctors told me what?
That you're having complications that are going to stop you from doing things, physical things.
Well,
Community service is very sedentary work. We can find sedentary work.
Yeah, they tell me the Victory Gym.
Okay. Well, you're going to do 2 extra days of community service, and it's all going to be completed by February the 7th. I don't like you not paying your fines. You told me you were going to pay weekly $50 in August. You didn't. You haven't.
I didn't tell you guys that. You guys made that up yourself. I never said that I was paying 50 weekly.
What does the pre-sentence report indicate her income was, Ms. Wilds, back when I sentenced? You have that in front of you. I don't need to see it.
Yep, she indicated that she was currently employed, that she was actually in training at Rocket Mortgage to obtain her state licensing, and she was also collecting $300 per month in bridge card food stamps.
For Diamond G, for me, I never attended Rocket Mortgage. In a food stamp card, I get $535, not $300. That's not me.
Did I tell you to come and talk to me if you didn't have the money?
Yes.
Why didn't you do that? No. I would have told you that at the time of the sentence. Why didn't you do that? You paid nothing in 5 months, and now you're coming in and asking for time to pay, and I just don't appreciate it. I'm going to be reasonable with you under these circumstances, but I don't think you're really getting the fact that you need to comply with court orders. We don't acquire 9 warrants unless we think that we're bigger than courts.
And can I have that as well?
Ma'am, I'm not done talking yet. So let's quit acting like we're oppressed and start to understand that we have to show up and pay for our sins. And that's what we do. Now, how much did you say you can pay?
She can make a $100 payment this upcoming Friday.
But then how much can she pay?
100 per month with minimum on or about.
You pay $100 by December the 27th and the 27th of every month thereafter, with all money due by, because I have to have it done before the end of probation, by August the 15th of 25. You don't have the money? All you have to do is call the court. We'll go on Zoom. I'll be happy to work with you, but you cannot ignore courts like this, ma'am. Okay, so you have to do all your community service by that date that I gave you. So you already owed us 24 hours. Now you owe us 40 hours, and that has to be done by February the 7th. if you get a note from a doctor saying it's an impossible task for you to do that, based on the type of work that you can do that's sedentary, I'll be glad to give you an extension. Okay? I wish you well. Stop being so angry. Go take care of the courts. Go surrender yourself on the warrants.
Can I have a printout of that? Just like
I can't give you a printout of the lien. We can tell you where, but they're all in Westland, Wayne, Romulus, and Taylor, right, Beth?
That's correct. That's correct.
I just want to make sure it's actually me.
Well, they wouldn't put
a job that
they wouldn't put those on there if they weren't you, ma'am.
a job in the
Hey, Judge.
I never even said.
All right, you can go tell the judge that. All right, Harlock Holdings versus Benicia Yarbrough, 2404631.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Randy Levasseur, P41712, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ma'am, your name? Ms. Yarbrough, I need you to state your name, please.
Yes.
I need you to start your video.
Oh.
And state your name.
I'm on court hearing. Yes.
Start your video and
Yes.
state your name. There you go. Now stop walking around. State your name, please. Guys, come on. I am not going to sit here and wait for you to engage in a conversation.
Okay, I'm here, Your Honor.
Well, stop right there and tell me your name.
Benicia Yarbrough.
Stop. Why are you walking around?
No, I'm about to sit down because I was at work. I'm working.
All right. Did the two of you resolve the amount that's owed, Mr. Levasseur?
Ms. Yarbrough and I did not speak. Now, she did send an email, and I did chat with the property manager who is here in the Zoom room. I think I've got an understanding of why there's a disparity between the numbers, Your Honor. Bottom line, Ms. Yarbrough used to be Section 8 tenant, and Section 8 still owes money, which the landlord is expecting to receive. That's $1,334, which brings the numbers fairly close, which would be the remaining amount that Ms. Yarbrough would need to pay. When I do the math, I get $2,333 plus court costs. The plaintiff is willing to waive $200, provided that Ms. Yarbrough abides by a payment plan, and that gets us very close to the $2,000 that Ms. Yarbrough was referencing.
All right. So what are you asking for judgment-wise?
Well, we would be happy with a judgment that provides for a total of $2,333 plus cost of $223 for a total of $2,556. Indicates in the further orders that that does not include the portion that Section 8 will be paying or is expected to pay, and then provides a payment plan for Ms. Yarbrough that if she pays $1,500 a month with the first payment due by January 2nd, 2025, that we will hold off on applying for a writ of restitution.
All right. So I want to make sure I understand this. So the amount of judgment that you're asking for is $2,556 with a further provision that this does not include payments due by Section 8 housing, and that she can pay this at the rate of $1,500 per month. You cut out, I thought you said January 2nd. Is that true?
January 2nd would be the regular 10-day date if the court is open on that date. So rather than call for everything to be paid by that date, we're simply thinking January 2nd would be the first payment, and then by the first of each month thereafter until she's caught up.
Well, actually, January 3rd is the writ date, right? Oh, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. I don't know why I've been saying the 3rd the whole time. Okay, so do you understand and agree to those terms, Ms. Yarbrough?
What's the terms they are saying again?
He says that you owe $2,556. That includes everything, but does not include amounts due from Section 8, and that you have to pay that at the rate of $1,500 per month. The first payment due January 2nd, and all other payments due at the rate of $1,500 a month, beginning on the first of every month, starting which would be on February 1. Then, do you understand that?
Yes, but currently I just had started a new job, so that's why I wanted to set up a payment plan with them so I can be, paid that $2,000 off.
Well, he is setting up a payment plan. He's saying just pay $1,500 by January 2nd.
Okay, because I know I don't, my new job that I just started, I don't get paid bi-weekly.
We could do $750 every 2 weeks starting January 2nd if that helps, Miss Yarborough.
Okay.
You agree to that?
Yeah, because my first check is not.
I just want to know if you agree. I just want to know if you agree to that.
If he can lower it down just a little, like 100 off or so.
I don't think we can do that now. If Miss Yarborough had a concern with the starting date, if she gets paid on January 3rd, for example, if she could tell us that, we could certainly work with her there.
Okay.
First of all, do you agree that you owe $25.56 plus the Section 8 payments that are outstanding?
Oh, no, not the Section 8 standing, no.
What? You don't agree that Section 8 is not paid all the money they're responsible to pay?
No, they did not pay their part.
Ma'am, no. Okay, I get it. But this is your share. You agree that your share is $25.56?
Okay.
I'm asking you a question. Do you agree or not agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So, I mean, look, I'm going to take this out of everybody's hands. I'm just going to say $25.56. The writ date is January 3rd, not the 2nd. The payments are due at the rate of $750 bi-weekly beginning January the 3rd until paid in full. So that's the best I'm going to do here. Okay, so you're going to have to pay that, submit your order, and we're done. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, I've got someone seated at the detention center Zoom location. Who would that be?
It's Brown.
Are you handling that case, Ms. Hughes?
Did she say the last name was Brown? Yes, I did.
Karen Brown. I believe it was Mr. Favre's case.
Yes, I'm not handling that case.
Okay, do we have Mr. Favre on here or someone covering for Mr. Favre?
I was not asked to cover for Mr. Favre. That's all I can tell you. I know he was not able to make it today. He said.
Ms. Brown, something else you were going to say?
I just said that Favre told me that he wasn't going to make it today.
Well, I'm not very happy about that. He either needs to make it or have someone substitute for him. Certainly not going to hold Ms. Hughes responsible for covering him. All right. Let me locate the file, Ms. Brown.
And she may have been picked up on that no bond hold warrant that the court issued when she failed to appear for sentencing back in November.
That is exactly right. I had a family-ish death in my family, and I lost my phone, and I tried a lot of things. I got taken actually out to Colorado and a sex ring and stuff, and I finally got back out here in Wichita. And that's when the bondsman finally found me.
All right. Apparently, there's no real issue here. You failed to appear for your scheduled sentencing in this court. Also, your pre-sentence report process was incomplete.
I actually did my drug and alcohol assessment at Higher Grounds.
Okay, what about your risk needs assessment?
I did do that right after I got out. I called the what is her name? It was in the probation officer. I talked to her, she did that. And I was really trying. I had a bed waiting for me at the Second Chance place here in El Dorado, which I still have that bed available for me. And he's just waiting to hear what you have to say for me to go back to. getting sober.
All right. Mandy, do we have any reason to believe that the pre-sentence report has actually been completed at this point?
Let me check, Judge.
Okay.
I did check eFlex earlier and I didn't see anything.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to determine how far I need to set this out. Ms. Brown, you're going to stay right where you are. If I can't count on you to show up on your own for sentencing, I'm not going to turn you back loose.
I was not even able to get back. I was literally in a sex ring, and they have that out in California. And my mom even has the court case and everything.
Okay.
You can
All right,
call.
Ms. Brown, I need to make sure that the pre-sentence investigation is complete, that we can proceed with sentencing because we have a completed report. At this point, I don't know that the report has been completed. And so I need you to be held on to until the process is complete and you're sentenced. And then at that point, we'll talk about whether you should be released back into the community or not and under what conditions. But failure to appear leads to no bond holds, especially on felony cases and especially on felony sentencing, and especially when you hadn't completed everything.
How long will that take?
Could be anywhere from a few days to 2 months.
Judge, I do not see one anywhere.
All right. Now, Ms. Brown represents that she's at least completed the missing component to the pre-sentence report. If that's true, then we can set this relatively quickly. I don't know how long Mr. Favre is going to be gone. I'm not pleased that he has failed to appear today.
I honestly think he's said he was gonna give my case up and give it to somebody else.
I could set this as soon as Monday, January 6th, but I'm hesitant to do so, not knowing about the status of Mr. Favre's calendar.
Philip Webb is he said that he would hold my bed until he would hear something for my sober living.
I'm going to set this case at least for review, hoping, of course, that I can get Mr. Favre to the next session. For January 2 at 4 o'clock, Mandy, I trust that's still available.
I'm sorry, what date was that, Judge?
January 2, 4 o'clock.
Yes, it is open.
All right. Ms. Brown, we're going to look at your case again then. And we'll do appropriate further scheduling as may be deemed appropriate. Or perhaps we can go ahead and proceed to sentencing and get this matter completed. Till then, the no bond hold remains in effect. Thursday, January 2, 4 o'clock p.m. for further proceedings in the Brown case. If you need to cooperate in any way to complete this pre-sentence process, Ms. Brown, I'm ordering you to do so. I don't want any further delays on your sentencing because assessments aren't done. Okay? All right. Then we'll see you January 2, 4 o'clock p.m. by Zoom at that time.
Thank you.
Established. So, Mr. Favre, I had called one of your cases earlier on this docket, State versus Taryn Brown. It was not crystal clear if she's completed all aspects of the pre-sentence investigation and report. She hadn't previously. She now claims that she's completed the evaluation portion, but I do not have access to a completed pre-sentence report at this point. Do you?
I don't, Judge, and I went and checked. I haven't seen one yet.
What the court ended up doing is tried to set something earlier rather than later with the hope that we could have a report in our hands relatively soon. I did not change her incarcerated status, but reset the case for January 2 at 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Judge.
You're available at that time?
January 2 at 4 o'clock. You know what? I think I am. Let me just double check here. Yes, Judge, I am available that time.
All right, then we're going to review the status of the Taryn Brown case at that time. If we have a completed pre-sentence report in our hands at that time, Mr. Favre, it's the court's intention to go ahead and proceed to sentencing.
That would be great. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for the court at this time, Mr. Favre?
Judge, I think if the court would allow, Ms. Brown and I have had some communication, and her mother and I have had some communication. I know she would want me to make a motion to modify her bond. I know she's probably in the jail.
She kind of made her own, but you can readdress it.
She basically, her situation is that, you know, She's had some substance abuse issues. Her mom has been willing to take her in if she's willing to go to treatment, and she says she is. So that's the proffer that she would want me to make on her behalf. Her mother is currently taking care of her children, who she has through a child need of care action, from what I understand. And so there are some limitations on restriction, but she would want to be out for the holidays. So that would be our request that the court set some kind of a bond. It's currently a no bond hold. Now, I will say that I don't have any idea for sure if she has finished the pre-sentence requirements yet. And so that's probably the biggest holdup, I would think. But she is presumptive probation on this. It is, I believe, her first time felony as well. So
I just have to look back and see that she failed to appear for a very important court proceeding, Mr. Favre, and that was her scheduled felony sentencing. As before, the court's not inclined, and I do understand what season we're in, Mr. Favre, and I can appreciate your request, but not knowing if she's completed her requirements for the pre-sentence investigation, I'm not inclined to release her. I think that we've got the best chance of getting it complete by January 2nd if she's in custody. And I know that the officer can approach her, or anyone else, any other professional that she needs to deal with, knows exactly where she is for the next few days. I've tried to give her an expedited setting, and at this time I'm going to deny any further request for a modification of her bond status. She's under a no bond hold.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Favre.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today?
Okay.
This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're going to start bringing people in person. People going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am?
No,
Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. It's true. At the end of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.